All I wanted was my rent. This place seems pretty well taken care of. Nothing broken. He's always been a good, careful, tidy tenant. But I just didn't want him to get too far behind in the rent.
How far behind is he?
3 months, $240. $80 isn't so bad for a place as well furnished as this. I've had a little trouble collecting before, but it always ended up very well. He promised me the check this morning over the telephone. I mean, he promised to give it to me.
Over the phone this morning, and you're the owner?
Why, certainly. I'm Miss Fallbrook. Who did you think I was?
Well, I thought you were the owner talking about the rent and all, but I didn't know your name.
And who might you be, if I may inquire?
I'm just here about the car payments. The door was open just a teensy-weensy bit, and I sort of shoved it in. I don't know why.
Funny thing about this gun. I found it on the stairs. Nasty, oily things, aren't they? In the stair carpet is a grey chenille. Quite expensive. Well, of course it's much easier for you. About the car, I mean. You can just take it away if you have to. But taking a house with nice furniture isn't so easy. It takes time and money to evict a tenant, and there's apt to be bitterness. Some things get damaged, sometimes on purpose. And this rug on the floor costs over $200, second-hand. But that's silly too, because they're always second-hand after you've used them. And I walked over here too, to save my tires for the government. I could have taken a bus part way, but the darn things never come along except in the wrong direction. Has it been fired? I certainly hope not.
Any reason why it should have been fired?
Well, I found it lying on the stairs, and after all, people do fire them.
Well, Mr. Lavery probably had a hole in his pocket. He isn't here, is he?
Oh no, and I don't think that's very nice. He promised me the check this morning, and I walked over, and...
Have you phoned him?
Why, yesterday evening.
He must have been called away. Look, Miss Fallbrook, not that I don't love it, and not that I don't like to say this, but you didn't shoot him, did you, on account that he owed you 3 months' rent?
Well, it's a perfectly horrid suggestion. I don't think you're very nice at all. Didn't you say the gun hadn't been fired?
All guns have been fired sometime. All guns have been loaded sometime. This gun isn't loaded now.
Well then...
Okay, my idea was wrong. Just a gag anyway. Mr. Lavery was out and you walked through the house. Being the owner, you have the key. Is that correct?
Perhaps I ought not to have done it, but I have a right to see how things are kept.
Well, you looked. Are you sure he isn't here?
I didn't check under the bed or in the icebox, but I called out from the top of the stairs, and when he didn't answer my ring, I went down to the lower hall and called out again. I even checked into the bedroom.
Well, that's that.
Yes, that's that. And what did you say your name was?
Vance. Philo Vance.
And what company are you employed with, Mr. Vance?
I'm out of work right now, until the police commissioner gets into a jam again.
But I thought you said you came about the car payments.
That's just part-time work, a fill-in job.
Then I think in that case you'd better leave now.
I'll just take a look around if you don't mind. There might be something you missed.
I don't think that is necessary. This is my house, and I'll thank you to leave now, Mr. Vance.
And if I leave, you'll find someone who will. Take a seat again, Miss Fallbrook. I just want to glance through. This gun, you know, is kind of queer.
But I told you I found it lying on the stairs. I don't know anything else about it. I don't know anything about guns. I've never shot one in my life.
That's your story. I don't have to get stuck with it.
Oh, I shouldn't have come in. I knew I shouldn't have. Mr. Levy would be so furious.
What you shouldn't have done was let me find out the gun was empty, up till then you had everything in the deck.
Why, you perfectly loathsome man! Don't you come near me! Don't you dare touch me! I don't want to spend another minute in this house with you! How dare you be so insulting!
Something's wrong with this scene.
Why, you perfectly loathsome man!
That's me, Philip Marlowe.